Paul Owen here. I promised you I'd make some short product videos on the different products we have on the site. Here I'm talking about the Exam Writing 1 product. And you can see right away that the only difference between the products, and this is Exam Writing 1, it covers contracts, criminal law, and torts. And this is the PDF file. It's a fairly extensive product. It's got some basic information about the M.A.D. study method. Here's the table of contents. Generally, we have some model answers and techniques for contracts, torts, and criminal law, some graded bar exams, so you can see exactly how pathetic the bar grades exams. And then if you actually fail a bar exam, boy, you got a lot of trouble because fundamentally they don't grade these things as well as they should. They skim through them mostly. And this is a prime example of that kind of stuff. Plus, and the most important part is we have a large bank of extremely good practice exams. Now, we do talk about some of the methodologies we use in our system, the M.A.D. study method, okay, using majority and minority law, IRAC exam writing. There's some information about the M.A.D. study method, the read and rewrite issue spotting method, okay. These are all systems related. They're all related to the fact that once you learn the M.A.D. system of learning complex idiomatic information, you got a big leg up in the world and in life in general because you will be able to learn practically anything you want at will. Okay? And it's extremely important that you learn this M.A.D. methodology because it will change your life. So, we also have a basic approach in each of the books about exam writing and how to approach certain things. There's a certain way you approach a criminal law exam, there's a certain way you approach a contracts exam. They're different, mainly because some are relational and some are racehorse. And by racehorse, we mean, geez, there's hundreds of people, there's hundreds of causes of action, there's so much junk that you got to get out just to cover what was thrown into the fact pattern that it seems as though it's almost impossible to finish any kind of answer if you really know the law. Others are relational. Contracts is a prime example of a relational topic. You can talk about offer and acceptance and remedies and damages in the same sentence. So there's a linear flow to contracts, but it's all relational, so you can jump all over the place. So there's different types of ways to approach answering those kind of questions. That's covered in this kind of book. Okay? Now, there's issue spotting strategy, okay, and model answers. Let's get one thing extremely straight about model answers. Model answers aren't for you to learn the law. You cannot learn the law from looking at the answers to exam writing questions. It's impossible to do that, okay? All you can do in looking at model answers is look at the visual impact of this particular model answer. Notice how the stuff's underlined. Notice how the base definition's there. Here's the base outline and the things that should or shouldn't be in the answer. And here's a model answer for offer. And it's a visual impact it has on the reader. That's what you're looking for. The visual impact. That's all you can learn from looking at model answers. Why is that? Because good legal analysis is diametrically opposed, okay? You could take 10 people in a room who are all experts on the law and ask them to legally analyze a set of facts, and all 10 of them will come up with radically different ways to answer the questions and present the information and to determine what is going to happen, okay? But they all have one thing in common. They've all memorize the law. They take those questions, the memorized law, turn it into questions, and answer those questions in a manner. But how they conclude about things, how they make conclusions, and how do they value the certain levels of information that are in the factual pattern is all dependent upon their individual backgrounds. I will answer a question differently than you. You will answer it differently than me, but we will both get hundreds on our exams because our legal analysis and methodology is extraordinarily good. Okay? That's the key thing we want you to take away from this. The scope of this book shows you how it's structured. Here's the model torts answers. Okay? You go through the model answers part. Oh, here's banks of questions. Or these are actual bar exams that were given. Okay, and the answers for people that actually wrote their exams and got them graded. Okay, You can see how bad things are, how good things are. So if you fail a bar exam, you're in a lot of trouble because you really don't know the law if you fail the standards of their grading on most bar exams. So, and this goes, here's practice exams, here's a bank of practice exams. And what we try to do in the practice exams for all the exam writing products is real simple. Remember, I told you, you cannot learn anything by looking at model answers. You cannot learn the law. However, you can hone your issue spotting skills, you can hone your legal reasoning skills by doing banks of questions that have repeat the same type of fact patterns. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say you look at this contracts things, and I'm just going to make something up right now. Like there's a blue cow standing in the field in contracts question 1, and there's a blue cow standing in the field in contracts question and answer exam answer 14, and there's a blue cow standing in the field in the fact pattern on 21. Okay, and there's another blue cow standing in the field in fact pattern 28. If you do this entire bank of contracts questions in the exam writing 1 book, and by the 5th time you see the blue cow standing in the middle of the field, and by the 5th time you don't figure out maybe there's some blue cow law I need to talk about, okay? If you can't figure it out by the 5th time in this kind of bank of questions, you need to quit law school and find something better to do with your time because you're never going to be a good attorney. Okay, and you might as well quit now while the quitting's good. Okay, why waste your time? Okay, so we repeat key issues and key phrases and key fact patterns 5 times in the entire bank. What does that give you? If you're missing something, it gives you the chance by maybe the 5th time it's going to dawn on you that this is something you need to write about. Okay, the guy was all night at the sleazy saloon. That's a primary example we always use. We'll put the somebody was all night at the sleazy saloon in the criminal law section. We'll put that in 5 different exam answers that you should be doing, and you need to figure that out. Now, one of the key ways of actually figuring out to learn the law after you've written an exam, and this is interesting because this is all part of the M.A.D. method, is after you write an exam and you don't feel comfortable that you did a good job in the application of law, read Dean's Law Dictionary. Every answer, every answer to every bar exam, every exam ever given in law school is in Dean's Law Dictionary. So if you have this uneasy feeling with your exam answer and you want to critique it, and you want to critique it really well, you're in crimes, you're talking about felony murder, you're in crimes, you're talking about burglary or arson or homicide or whatever it is you're talking about, okay? You go in and you take your answer after you spent your hour writing the answer, and then go into Dean's Law Dictionary and read all about felony murder. Then you can see how pathetic your answer is, how well you didn't apply the law. That's where you'll do your learning. That's where you learn. Okay, your issue spotting skills, they're honed by the bank of questions that you see here. So that's the kind of product that all the exam writing products are. I'm not going to go over it in any more detail than I already have. These are great products if you know how to use them and you're going to go with the M.A.D. study method. Okay, do the exam writing the way we tell you, and you're going to be a very successful law student, and you're also going to be a very good lawyer. Hope you learned something from what I said. This is Paul Owen. Thanks for listening. And you can go to the website at bsmsphd.com to our exam writing products. And if you need to buy these, buy them. Thank you very much.